What up, Salvador Briggman here. Welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel. On this channel, we talk about crowdfunding, and today I want to talk about how to set up a online store. How do you set up a place where you can sell products online? This could be after you're doing a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo campaign. This could be if you're setting up your own store even ahead of time and just trying to get an idea of how this works. If you really want to explore and dive into the e-commerce journey at some point and you want to grow a brand from scratch, you're going to have to set up your own online store. And I'm going to be sharing with you a simple process to do that using a resource which I recommend, which I use myself, and I'm going to be talking about that on today's video, and it's coming up right after this. Okay guys, welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel, and I've been in this industry since 2012, educating about crowdfunding, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, how to sell products online, how to build a brand from scratch, how to take an idea and literally out of thin air create an entire product prototype company out of that grows years into the future, that allows you to quit your job, that allows you to do other things, or build out new products out there, come out with new innovations, new inventions, or even just have multiple products in that line. And that all starts with making a commitment. So thank you so much for showing up today, because you've made the commitment to invest in your own education, to really put that at the forefront of your learning and to upgrade your skills. And you always got to be doing that. And I love it that my community is so passionate about that. So today's tool that we're going to be talking about is called Bluehost. Now, I use Bluehost to literally host all of my websites. I have a couple of different websites that I have online, aside from crowdcrux.com, which is my main website. We also have kickstarterforum.org, which is an online forum. I also have other websites like salvadorbriggman.com, podcastinghacks.com, like a bunch of different sites out there to help people with various things that I've been able to demystify and figure out. And one of the things that we recommend a lot and use a lot for e-commerce clients is this idea of starting an online store using two tools. One is called WordPress and the other is called WooCommerce. So I'm going to be getting into that today, doing a tutorial video. So first of all, if you've never checked out Bluehost, Bluehost has been around for a long time. They're an extremely robust hosting tool. And basically what you can do here is you can come to bluehost.com, you can see here, and they have a bunch of different options available to you. So if you come to the main website of Bluehost, if you're following along, first of all, this is the go-to solution for people that want to start a WordPress website. And I'll get into some of the pros and cons of WordPress versus some other tools out there like Shopify or Wix, right? WordPress gives you an extreme amount of customization ability, really easy functionality, and to set up an online store as well. If you are interested in having a blog on your website where you maybe educate some of your customers about a hobby, about why they might buy the product, about their interests, right? And use that as a way to drive traffic and to get organic people actually buying your product. WordPress is a great solution for starting a blog. And this is really the go-to solution when it comes to that. So you can set up using Bluehost a WordPress website. It is literally pennies on the dollar, right? It's $3 per month to actually set up one of these WordPress websites. When you sign up with Bluehost, you get a free domain, a free SL, a free CDN. For those of you that don't know, the domain is just literally what's right here, bluehost.com. SSL certificate is just a security certificate. It makes it so that people that are visiting your website know that it's secure and safe. And a CDN is really simple. All it is basically, it's called a content display network, I believe it is, and it allows you to have website that loads faster. It uses caching, okay? But it just basically makes your website load faster. So for literally $3 a month, you can set up a WordPress website using Bluehost. And also, if you're interested, they have a money-back guarantee. So in today's video, I'm going to be recommending this resource because we use it. But if you also go through the link down below at crowdcrux.com/Bluehost, you will get a very small commission at no expense to you if you decide to use this valuable resource in setting up your own online store. Okay, so there's another option here which I wanted to just quickly go over, and the sort of quick benefits or drawbacks of this. They also have an online store option. So these are for people that you're not really tech savvy. Okay, if you're like myself, you don't like technology, you don't necessarily enjoy setting up the whole store, and you kind of want just something that's going to work right out of the box. I would recommend the WooCommerce option, where if you actually enroll and you set up your Bluehost account with this online store option, it's really great for those of you out there that are selling online products, that are interested in getting people to actually check out your website and to be able to have a store functionality and just kind of have that from the get-go. You can use this online store package, which gives you an online store website analytics, 100 gigabytes of storage, free domain, free SL, Yoast SEO, which is basically just a Yoast SEO plugin that you can use to improve the SEO of your website. And that's just so people can discover you, right, on Google and these different things. Also, it's very easy when it comes to having gift cards, wish lists, etc. This this would be a great option, again, if you don't want to do a lot of setup, but actually in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do this and set it up from scratch. So if you really want to figure out and understand how to do it from scratch, that's what you're going to be doing on today's video. I just kind of want to cut to the chase, get it set up very quickly, like in a matter of minutes, right? You could just use the online store option, and that's going to help you a lot. And it's only $10 a month, which honestly is not that much, right? You spend more on, I mean, you got Netflix, you got HBO these days, you got Disney Plus. So like, if you think about it, your entertainment, you spend that much. And the great thing about a business is you can write off these expenses. So regardless if it's your setup cost, talk to your accountant or your CPA about that, right? But you're going to be able to lower your taxes. So why not, right? Okay, so that being said, let's kind of use my site as an example. So first of all, when you set up your website, okay, so this is not my main site. My main site is crowdcrux.com. This is sort of like my personal blog. And, I talk about different topics and stuff like that, about blogging and writing and like my life, right? So when it comes to this, if you wanted to set up a online store, you're going to need two things. You should write this down. Number one, you need to have WordPress, okay? And we recommend, again, Bluehost to set up that hosting account so then you can install WordPress on that hosting provider. Very easy to do. There's a one-click install feature. Once you have WordPress, which is basically what you're seeing here on this screen, this is what's called WordPress. In the same way as if you have a PC, right? It's going to look a certain way. If you have an Apple product, it's going to look a certain way in terms of the user interface. WordPress is just a fancy word. It's a fancy tool that allows you to manage a website with this specific dashboard and menu. So for example, on WordPress, you can publish blog posts, you have stats, you have other things when it comes to comments, you have different pages, you have media, you can even do forms. There's a lot of different information. There's Yoast SEO you can install. There's a lot of different functionality when it comes to WordPress, and it's very customizable, which is why people like it in the e-commerce game. So if you want to begin with e-commerce, first, like I said, you got to get a hosting provider. We recommend Bluehost. Number two, you got to get WordPress and get that installed. And that's going to be part of the process. If you're signing up with Bluehost, they do it automatically. And number three, you got to install an e-commerce plugin. Okay. So there are lots of themes that are free with WordPress and plugins. What you're going to do here is you're going to come to your section here on the lower left called plugins. I'm going to bring up all the plugins that you have installed. I have a bunch of plugins installed for this website. You would click add new, and that's going to pull up this other screen you can see here. And you're going to be able to have a bunch of different types of plugins that are available. So you can see ones that are featured, that are popular. So I'll just give you an idea here of what some of these are going to look like. The cool thing about plugins is it's almost like it's basically upgrading the functionality of your site immediately. So you can, for example, if you wanted to, you could have a community feature built into your website. Or if you wanted to, you could do other things like have a Jetpack, which is analytics, very easy analytics that are installed. If we look at some of the recommended plugins, let's see if there are any other ones here. We got some classic widgets. Let's see some of the popular ones. There's usually a bunch when it comes to social media sharing, contact forms. You can see here, you got a website builder, which makes it really easy, drag and drop website building if you don't want to have to do it with any coding or anything like that. And of course, there is WooCommerce, which we'll get into in just a second. You got all of these plugins that are available to you. So you don't have to hire a developer, right? You can just really easily install these. So we're going to install WooCommerce, right? WooCommerce is the plugin which allows us to set up an online store. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click install, and you can see now it begins to install. So it might take a minute there or so. Then we're going to click activate. So that's going to bring up the actual plugin menu. So what you're kind of doing is you basically have, when you got WordPress, you got a bare bones website. You have a simple website, a simple blog, you got pages, you got all the things you need when it comes to a website. When you have WooCommerce, what it does is it allows you to then have the same functionality that you would have with an online store. And this has been used by literally millions of people around the world. So they have a great setup wizard, which we'll go through right now when it comes to getting this set up. So first of all, we're going to start with the setup wizard. As you can see here, this is picking the region in which you are. So I'm in the United States. So we're going to pick United States, and I am in the beautiful sunny state of Florida. So we're going to scroll down here to do Florida. I'm going to click continue. Okay, so we're going to go no thanks. I don't think I need to share my data here. It's up to you. If you want to improve the development experience, you can more than welcome to do that. Talk about the industry. So for the industry, for our online store, let's do education and learning. Click continue. Next, we're going to get more into the product types. What are the types of products that you are selling? So for this audience, I think a lot of us are going to be selling physical products, but I'm going to say physical products and also downloads. If you do want to sell something a little bit different, you could also do subscriptions, which is really cool. But for those of you that want to do something more premium, for example, memberships or like bookings, for example, and you can hover over this, you'll get some more information here. You would have to pay a little bit more to be able to do that sort of premium functionality. Okay, so we're just going to say continue. So there we go. We got the product types, we got physical products, we got downloads, we got subscriptions. It all comes free with WooCommerce. So now we're getting here with the business details. So we're going to be setting up the business details. If you haven't yet, I have a great other video out there on YouTube that walks you through how to set up an online business and how to set up a bank account, how to set up the actual, filing the forms when it comes to a corporation or an LLC. Let's see, what are the products that we plan to display? We'll just say 1 to 10. We're not selling anywhere else right now. We'll say continue. We'll say continue. So some of these features, let's scroll down here just so we can see. These are some of the free features which you get with WooCommerce. So some would be print shipping labels with WooCommerce, get automated tax sales with WooCommerce, growing your store when it comes to email marketing using MailPoet. We recommend Aweber as a way to do email marketing, drive sales with Google listings and ads. This is all free, guys. You're getting all of this for free when you sign up using WooCommerce. So here we go. We're going to click continue. All right. So we got the WooCommerce plugin installed, and now we have to go through a little bit of information when it comes to adding your store details, adding products, setting up payments, tax rates, more sales, and personalize your store. So the great thing about this is that there's already a bunch of different tasks here that are going to help you getting set up. If you wanted to jump to some different sections, we could just go down to orders, for example, or you could see customers. So first of all, I'm going to go and just add a little bit more when it comes to details, and so we can see what this setup wizard looks like. All right. So we got this set up here. So for example, we begin with the store address, and look at this, how easy it is. This is guiding you through every step of the process. You'll first add your store location, and then you have some other options like where you're going to be selling. Are you selling to all countries or specific countries? A lot of my students are trying to sell to the United States and like tier 1 countries, for example, like the UK, Australia, Canada, but other students are looking to sell internationally, right? So you could decide where you want to ship or where you want to sell as well, right? And specify that here. You can also set the default customer location if you wanted to. You can enable tax rates and calculations. So this will be calculated, as you can see, during checkout. You can also, if you wanted to, enable coupons. So maybe for the launch of a store, and I have a whole other video and also a course walking you through how to launch a new e-commerce store. You can go and check that out, where you can enable coupons if you want to and kind of have a sequence leading up to the launch. You can talk as well about the currency. This kind of gets a little bit more into the nitty gritty. Once that happens and you're going to actually begin to fill out those details information, next I want to walk a little bit just into products. So this is going to be the shop page. This is the shop page where people can go and they can check out what it is that you're selling. So a lot of this, you're probably not going to be adjusting too much. The big ones would be reviews, right? If you want to have enable reviews are only left by verified owners of the product. You have your star reviews, as you can see here. You might want to specify some things when it comes to dimension or unit weight. I'm not going to get too much into that. I think that for the majority of people out there, you're going to maybe take some time to customize 1 or 2 of those options. You also have this item, which is shipping zones. Should be a geographic region where certain sets of shipping methods are offered. So again, shipping is going to really vary depending on where it is that you're shipping your products out to. Definitely would also recommend, if you can, to work with a fulfillment company, particularly if you're trying to do massive quantities of orders, or you have even a minimal volume of orders, but on a recurring basis. It's going to help you a lot. So you don't have to be figuring it all out yourself, figuring out SKUs and barcodes and returns, right? That's a lot of work. Then you're going to come here to payments. So you can accept a lot of different types of payments, and you can enable these as you go. So for example, you could have credit card and debit card payments here, and you could begin to set this up. You could have direct bank transfer. You could set this up, right? Check payments, cash on delivery. These are all different options for accepting payments. So really, when you think about setting up an online store, having products, having payments, having shipping, having taxes, right? All those kinds of things, you can use this plugin to be able to accomplish that. So to get started with this, you need to create an account, obviously, and provide the business details. And that's pretty much all you need to do when it comes to getting set up with payments. So we're going to come back here to WooCommerce, the main tab, so you guys can see this. So we've begun to get here down here. You can see setting up payments, adding tax rates. There's some other cool things here I just want to quickly go through, and then we can move into the next section. So getting sales. Sales is kind of one of those things where you need to make sure you're optimized. You need to make sure you're giving yourself the best foot forward in order to create marketing and sales and to get attention and traffic. So one would be, for example, a Google listing ads. Really easy to set this up. TikTok, right? There's also some email marketing options here with this one with MailPoet. I would recommend Aweber over MailChimp. That's the tool we're recommending nowadays when it comes to doing email marketing. So if you wanted to, you could go and look that up. The other thing I'm going to include, I'll include that link down below, but I want to talk about personalizing your store just really quickly here. So when you're personalizing your store, if you already have a bunch of information, you could actually add some of the products that you maybe already have. This is just kind of to import sample products, just to kind of give you an idea of what this is going to look like. So let's create the home page here. It's just kind of going through these different checklist items. Really easy, pretty simple. I think we can skip the logo and we'll say store notice. We don't really need, I don't think we need a store notice. We can just kind of move forward through this task. All right, so we've gotten through a couple of these items, and obviously it's going to take you some time, but regardless of what solution you go with, you're going to have to go through this process. Want to take all the stress out of fulfilling your Kickstarter rewards? Fulfillrite is the turnkey solution that puts product delivery on autopilot. The Top Campaigns uses trusted high-tech provider to store, package, and ship their products. Focus on growing your business. Leave shipping to the experts. Don't wait. Get a custom quote from Fulfillrite today. Link in the description. So let's take a quick look at how this is beginning to look. So I already have a WordPress theme installed on this. So if you come here to shop, you'll be able to see how you can literally turn any website into a simple store. And this is populated by the sample products just to give an idea of what this store would look like. So if we wanted to, we could click add to cart here. Now it's added to cart. If you want to, you could click view cart. That's going to take you to the view cart page. These are all the different pages that are basically, common to setting up an e-commerce store. Really easily, people could then proceed to checkout. Let's go to proceed to checkout. Let's just say they wanted to go through that next process. There you go. You got the checkout, billing details, all of this. So we set that up, guys, in minutes, right? Just by installing this simple plugin. So we would have to customize more of this, right? And get much more into the weeds here when we talk about this. So just to demonstrate, let's say we come back here, we click read more for one of these listings. So you think about a store, you basically have different SKUs of a product, and you also have related products potentially. You have the description, you have the copy. These can be really added to cart. Then you have your shopping cart, right? Or someone who maybe wants to buy instantly. So there's kind of like a set series of events which a customer can go through a certain user flow when they're coming to an online store. And that's all that this plugin is designed to do, is to really simplify that and to make it easy. So if we come here on the lower left, I want to give you an idea of some of the dashboard items which you can access once you install WordPress, and you also install, if you're following along, this particular plugin. So we don't have any orders here, but let's just say that we wanted to add in a new order, or if we did process that sale, it would show up automatically, right, in this order section. This will allow us to keep things streamlined, organized. You can see here some of the different order information that you would have when it comes to a product would be, for example, when it was the order happened, the status of that particular order, the customer, the shipping, the billing address, which are sometimes not the same, and then a little bit more information if you wanted to. You could see more when it comes to the user journey, but that'd be more of a premium upgrade. I don't think you need that, honestly, to get started. That's something, if you're beginning to generate significant amounts of sales, then you can begin to do that. So then also you have some other actions you can see here on the right. If you look at my cursor, email invoice, resend new order, some other information here if you wanted to be able to access that. You can also add some notes on that order if you wanted to. This is a lot of the simple things you'd want to do when it comes to processing an order, collecting an order, tracking an order, getting an idea of where you're gonna have to ship that sucker, right? If you're doing the fulfillment yourself. Some other ones would be subscriptions, right? So if we wanted to, we could create a subscription-based product. Now, I see this sometimes in e-commerce. For example, you have a subscription box, which you're sending someone on maybe a weekly basis or on a monthly basis or on a quarterly basis. I'd say monthly is probably the most normal one. And a lot of this would be for different collections of, say, beauty products or different collections of interesting accessories, these different things. You could very easily create and set up a new product and customize all of this information. So if you see here, as we get into the product data, and this is getting a little bit more into the weeds, right, when it comes to this, but I do want to show you what this looks like. You could customize the product data. So everything when it comes to the subscription price, the frequency. So for example, every second, every third, every 6th month, week, day, when it's going to expire, if anything, if there's a sign-up fee as well, if there's a free trial, a sale price. You can get even more if you wanted to into the inventory. So stock management, order status. Dude, this is so cool. This is so exciting. Like you're literally operating a store out of a website. That's just something to me that's like really freaking cool, dude. So anyway, you can figure out shipping as well, different shipping classes, as you can see here, if you want to customize that. Other linked products and get even to some more advanced customization, different purchase notes. You want to enable reviews for that subscription-based product. You can then have the short description here, add in some multimedia. If you even wanted to, you could customize this, the way this looks in search engines, right? And you could add in a certain product category. Like this is maybe a subscription box for beauty products, right? You can really customize this and make it to the way that you would like. A couple other quick things here, and then we'll get to some just quick pros and cons, and I think that will be the end of today's tutorial video. So first of all, this, I'm telling you, man, if you listen to nothing else, you got to be listening to what I'm about to mention, which is that when it comes to e-commerce and setting up a new business, growing a brand from scratch, getting tons and tons of orders and scaling that into a 6-figure e-commerce business. One of the most important components of this that's highly overlooked is you gotta be organized, okay? You gotta be organized because there are so many different pieces of the puzzle which are moving around, okay? So for example, having a simple product catalog that has the right, categories, that has the right tags, makes it very easy for you to go there and to manage that catalog, to manage order flow. The more organized you are, I'm telling you, man, you are going to thank me later. And I'll be honest, that's probably not one of my strong suits, but I've had to learn that as I go. And sometimes when we're becoming a business owner, we have to do things that we don't necessarily like doing, right? But it allows us to improve and to have much better results. So last two things I want to go through would be calendar and reviews. So this is just to give you a full idea. This could be, for example, if you're really trying to create a product calendar of some kind, you can specify that if you really wanted to. You can see here in this particular dashboard. And then finally, reviews. So you can manage very easily the reviews which are coming in when it comes to your online store. You can see them, you can approve them, you can classify them as spam. So really, you're getting everything that you need when it comes to setting this sucker up. Now, let's say that you're like, Sal, this all sounds really cool and, this is great, but how do I change the look and the feel of this sucker, right? It's really simple. All you do would be to come to appearance here on the lower left, and you would click themes. And what this is going to do is it's going to take you to an incredibly comprehensive marketplace where you can go and you can search different themes that are available to you on the free WordPress plan. So let's say we're gonna come here and we're going to add a new theme. So first of all, we could search or we could upload a theme if we already have a theme that we like. There's some great options out there to see different themes. Let's just say we're going to say e-commerce here. So e-commerce. In a matter of seconds, you don't have to hire a designer. You don't got to hire someone to come up with these for you. Look at this. We already got a cosmetic store, which we can actually customize. You got another shopping store. You got ones for more electronics. You got a bookstore, right? These are so easy to customize to the look and the feel in which you would like. And I think to me, this is really the holy grail. Like this is allowing you to compete with the big boys. If you want something that looks professional, something that looks beautiful, something that's going to allow you to compete in the marketplace, right? With other people that are out there, you could very easily install one of these themes. And I've actually customized the homepage there. So you're actually not going to be able to see this particular theme unless I install it. So if you wanted to, you could go and download one of these and you could see what it looks like. You can preview it. Great thing about this is that there are many different items to choose from, many different colors, and they all have that same easy online store functionality and features and all the things that you need. So, and when it comes to setting this up, this is one option, and I'm going to include that link down below. If you do want to learn more about this, go and check out the link down below at crowdcrux.com/bluehost. That will allow you to, again, get the hosting package, get WordPress set up in a matter of minutes, install WooCommerce in the way that we did with this tutorial video, maybe even rewatch this video and just follow along with it, right? Really easy. And that way you can have an online store, you can pick the customization, the look and the feel, and then as you go over the next couple of weeks, you'll probably start to fill in that store with the products, with the SKUs, with the pricing, with the shipping, like all those kind of little nitty-gritty things you can figure out as you go. But just following this simple tutorial, signing up and getting this done, checking this off your list, in a matter of an hour, in less, I'd say even 30 minutes, you can have your first online store. And how freaking cool is that, man? So give me a thumbs up if that sounds like something that's exciting and something that you are looking to accomplish. The second thing I'll say before we close out this video is, what are some of the pros and the cons of this approach? So I teach strategy. I don't have like one specific tool which I use for every single job. Now, sometimes that's the case. Sometimes I will recommend like one tool above others because it's just night and day, right? But with setting up an online store, it's a very personal decision. And there are many different ways to go about setting up an online store. So for example, you have Wix, you have WordPress plus WooCommerce, you have Shopify, you have a bunch of different, you have Squarespace, you have a bunch of different solutions that are out there. So to me, the reason why you'd want to use WordPress plus WooCommerce is, one, you don't want to have to pay outrageous recurring subscription fees. And you really want something that's simple, that's low cost. Getting a hosting account with Bluehost is extremely low cost. And you want to have the full range of customization available to you when it comes to WordPress. Installing themes, installing plugins, these are all free. And maybe if you pay for some membership site, it's a little bit more. But really a great range of options. And lastly, for those of you that want to do content marketing is putting out blog articles. Maybe if you have a product like an electronics product, talking about the hobby, talking about listening to music, talking about the best sounds or the best music tracks or the best albums of this year, or talking about the superior quality and deciding, how do you pick the right earphone for you, depending on your listening style, the type of jazz you like or the rock music, and really diving in deep with the hobby that's going to attract that customer. Or for example, let's just say books. If you have a bookstore, right? Talking about some of the top books of that year, or talking about writers and really attracting a reader using blog article content. Or for example, if you have a watch, right, you could talk about different types of watches, how they pair with different styles and accessories. What should you wear with this particular watch? What does that say about you? What are the different materials that different watches are made from, and how does that impact their maybe long-term robust quality or their longevity? There's so many different topics that a watch buyer is going to be interested in because they love that hobby of owning a watch. So if that's something that's interesting with you, I'm going to mention something in just a second, but the first call to action here when it comes to this video is take a second to really take action on this. Go and check out the links down below for all of the information that I talked about in today's video. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Come subscribe for more content just like this. If you want to talk about how we could help you with setting up the store, with e-commerce, with content marketing, you should definitely reach out at my website, crowdcrux.com. This is something that we're actually doing a lot more for clients recently, particularly when it comes to helping them with content marketing and when it comes to e-commerce. So Kickstarter and crowdfunding is definitely something that we are experts in, and what I love doing, and obviously I'm a business coach as well. You can always book a business coaching call with me at crowdcrux.com/coaching at the link down below. But if you are interested in exploring content marketing or setting up and growing through e-commerce, this is a great opportunity. Also go and check out how we can help you, and tell us a little bit more about you as well when you go to my website, crowdcrux.com. Guys, thank you so much for listening to this tutorial. I hope that if nothing else, it opened up the ideas. It really got those juices flowing of how you can set up an online store, how you can do this in a matter of minutes, and a very simple process, a very simple strategy for accomplishing that.